Well, you don't want to wait until you need a lawyer to know a lawyer. This morning we're going to be talking with James Worth of the Worth Law Firm about that firm and their primary practice areas. And he's going to talk with us a lot about expungement today in a few minutes. Welcome back. The following segment is sponsored by Worth Law. So what are the reasons for expungement and the benefits? Well, the professionals at the Worth Law office can offer assistance with your court records and get you a lot of help. Joining us this morning, James M. Worth with details. Your law office practices all different varieties of law, from family law to criminal defense. But we want to focus on expungement today. First of all, explain the definition of it.
Yeah, essentially if you have something on your record, whether that be a misdemeanor conviction or a protective order, that remains on your record indefinitely unless you do something about it.
Okay.
And so expungement would be the process that you go through in order to get that record sealed so that it doesn't show up on background checks, doesn't show up in court records, arrest reports, things like that.
Okay, and can any criminal offense that you're convicted of be expunged?
Not every offense can be expunged, but there's been 4 changes over the last 5 years that expanded what can be expunged. So now is the best time that there's ever been in the state of Oklahoma to get an expungement, to seal something in your past so that you can move on from it with a clean slate.
How far back in your past can you go?
We've had clients where we've expunged records that are 30, even 40 years old.
Really?
But the things that are different now is that for some offenses they can be immediately expungible for some types of misdemeanors, and for other types of misdemeanors you only have to wait 5 years. For felonies, a minimum of 10 years.
Okay, and when you say expungement, that means when people go to the OSCN, it won't be there anymore.
Right, and there's multiple types and layers of expungement. With some types of offenses, you might get on probation where once you're done, the case is dismissed and expunged. So people under those circumstances might think that they're good. That just expunges the court records. It could still show up on their arrest records, and we've had many people call us concerned that they didn't know that it would. So we're talking about not just sealing court records, but talking about sealing arrest records as well. So OSBI background report, it can be cleared from that. And that's something that not only do you not have to report it to employers, but it's not going to show up on background checks. And so it doesn't cause you problems with employment, housing, professional licenses, and things like that.
Yeah, so we talked about that box that says, you know, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Well, if you got that record expunged, you could check no.
Yes, you could truthfully check that no. Based on Oklahoma law, that action never occurred once you have what we call a Section 18 expungement.
Okay, and there are a lot of jobs that would really red flag under a background check.
Absolutely. It can be particularly tough in economies where there's a lot more people looking for jobs than there are jobs. People in HR might have a stack of resumes, and it's real easy just to say anybody's got any blemish, let's just discount that right off the bat.
Make it a lot easier, yeah. And you also have a protective order expungement.
Yes, that's unfortunately we deal a lot in custody cases and things like that. In high intensity litigated cases, a lot of times results in protective orders and things like that. But most protective orders don't resolve in a final protective order being entered. Most of them are actually dismissed before that stage, and that means that the most protective orders are actually eligible for expungement.
Okay.
And we've had people that had protective orders filed against them that want them expunged, and that makes a lot of sense. We've actually had people that have filed protective orders against people want them expunged as well, because that shows up when they search their name as well. And although they may not have been at fault for that circumstance, to an employer that could be, well, I don't want to be involved in something that could have drama in their life.
Yeah, or maybe that drama doesn't exist in their life and they don't want anybody to see that ever happened.
Right, because there's also a lot of details in these court records that you may not want to know. It's more than just having a protective order. The affidavits are available publicly online that's got all your dirty laundry out there.
Exactly. So there'd be a lot of reasons that you might not want that on your record anymore. Well, thank you so much for giving us the lowdown on that. And if you have any questions about expungements or anything legal, how about call the Worth Law Office, 918-932-2800, worthlawoffice.com.